Hello and welcome to Spectrum Television News at 2. I am Uyai Anyaka and coming to you live from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. Let's take a look at the major stories. Federal government begins fresh legal frameworks to tame cybercrime. Senate calls for national collaboration to tackle violence against women in Nigeria. Plus, Palestinian Commission for Detainees say 24 women, 15 children expected to be released today. We will bring you details of these stories and more in a moment. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. First in the news this afternoon is Nigeria's leader, President Bola Tinubu, who has extended to the Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria, DICON Bill 2023. According to a report, the Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria was established on August 1st, 1964 by an Act of Parliament and revised as the DICON Act in Chapter 94 of the Laws of the Federation 2004. The new act also established the Defense Industry Technology, Research and Development Institute, DIT-RDI, to create an elaborate scientific and research-based technological foundation for Nigeria's defense industry through the leveraging of combined multidisciplinary research from multiple military research institutes for application that leads to commercialization and the development of new military technology and capacity in Nigeria. The Act provides a comprehensive regulatory framework for the regulation of the manufacturing, distribution, storage and disposal of defense articles in Nigeria. According to Ajurin Gilali, Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, the Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria Bill 2023 was sponsored by the Chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Defense, Babajimi Benson, APC, Ikorodu Federal Constituency. In the meantime, Tinubu has approved the appointment of Desmond Akawo to serve as the Federal Commissioner of the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission, RMAFC. The presidential spokesman said in a statement that the confirmation is subject to the approval of the Senate. According to the statement, the new RMAFC Federal Commissioner, who represents Rivers State, is being appointed following the tragic demise of the immediate past RMAFC Federal Commissioner from Rivers State, Osondo Wena, early this month. The President urged the new Federal Commissioner to deploy his robust experience across tiers of government toward the comprehensive reformation of processes that will ensure the most efficient and productive utilization of allocations to all three tiers of government in Nigeria. Meanwhile, Akawo has resigned from being Rivers People Democratic Party PDP chairman following his appointment as RMAFC Federal Commissioner. Away from that, the federal government has kick-started the legal framework on cybercrime to combat the evolving challenges occasioned by the menace. The Solicitor General of the Federation and Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Justice, Beatrice Jediagba, made this known at a legislative drafting retreat in Lagos. She noted that the increasing reliance on technology globally had made the shadow of cyber threat loom large. The Solicitor General, who spoke through the Director, Legal Drafting, Patrick Onyong, added that as a result of the trend, the Cybercrime Prohibition Prevention Act of 2015 required scrutiny and strategic enhancement to effectively fight the challenges posed by cybercriminals. Meanwhile, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF, George Akume, has inaugurated a committee to review the Public Procurement Act of 2007 in line with current economic realities in the country. Akume, in his inaugural speech, recalled that the Public Procurement Act 2007 was signed into law on June 4, 2007 by the late President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. The SGF explained that the Act provides the legal and institutional framework for the enthronement of transparency, accountability, value for money, and efficiency in the procurement of works, goods and services within the ministries, departments and agencies. Listing the membership of the committee, he named the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice as chairman, while members include the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Director General of the Bureau of Public Procurement, representative of the World Bank and KPMG Nigeria as technical consultants, and the Permanent Secretary of the Cabinet Affairs Office as member and Secretary of the committee. In the meantime, the federal government, through the National Economic Council, has announced plans to channel at least $1.52 billion donor funds into 36 special agro-industrial processing zones across the nation, aiming to create over 18.1 million jobs, including 100,000 farmers nationwide. The first phase, which now runs in Kano, Kaduna, Kwara, Ogun, Oyo, Imo, Cross River State, as well as the Federal Capital Territory, will gulp over $520 million and is set to conclude by 2028. The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, revealed this to newsmen after the conclusion of the 137th National Economic Council meeting presided over by Vice President Kashim Shettima at the Aso Rock Villa, Abuja. Kyari said 26 states have expressed interest in joining Phase 2 of the program, worth $1 billion funding from the African Development Bank, AFDB, and other partners will be channeled. The state will begin documentation for the second phase in early 2024.
Agriculture and Food Security made a presentation to the Council in respect of the Special Agro-Industrial Processing Zone, a program being carried out by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security in conjunction with the African Development Bank, the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, the Islamic Development Bank, state governments, and private investors. This program started in 2022 with the first phase with 7 states and the FCT keying in. The 7 states are Kano, Kaduna, Kwara, Ogun, Oyo, Imo, and Cross River. And like I said, with the FCT being the 8th partner in this program.
From the Red Chambers, the Senate Committee on Women Affairs has called for national collaboration to eradicate violence against women and girls in Nigeria. The Senate Committee Chairman on Women Affairs, Ireti Kinkibe, made the call at the launch of the Orange Nigeria. Kinkibe said the project is committed to creating a society free from the surge of gender-based violence, GBV, and is aimed at addressing the root causes of GBV through a collaborative effort emphasizing inclusivity, education, and community engagement. She added that the initiative seeks to empower individuals to stand against violence by fostering open conversations. Now to the Green Chambers, where the House of Representatives has called on its Committee on Emergency and Disaster Preparedness to review the activities of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to ascertain the extent of conformity with its mandate. It also mandated the same committee to evaluate NEMA's disaster response capabilities in terms of personnel competencies and response, as well as management infrastructure. The resolution of the House followed the adoption of a motion by the member representing Ado, Okpoko, Ogadibo federal constituencies, Philip Ogbasi. Ogbasi, while leading the debate, expressed concern about various complaints against NEMA by victims of disasters and stakeholders for its delayed and ineffective intervention. While adopting the motion, the House further mandated the Committee on Emergency and Disaster Preparedness to prepare recommendations on how to improve the agency's efficiency and effectiveness and report back within 4 weeks for further legislative action. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has vowed to investigate the utilization and impact of the 62 billion naira federal government intervention funds invested in HIV/AIDS control programs. It noted that the investigation would also be extended to funds donated by international donor organizations to the leprosy, tuberculosis and malaria control program during the Muhammadu Buhari administration. The chairman of the House Committee on HIV/AIDS, Tuberculosis, Leprosy and Malaria, Amobi Oga, stated this during the oversight visit of the committee. He expressed disappointment over the absence of the national coordinators of the National Malaria Control Program and the National Tuberculosis and Leprosy Control Programs during the oversight of the 2 agencies by the committee. Moving now to Africa, where former Paralympic champion Oscar Pistorius is reportedly to be free from jail on parole nearly 11 years after murdering his girlfriend, River Steenkamp. Reports say he shot Steenkamp multiple times through a bathroom door on Valentine's Day in 2013, later claiming he mistook her for a burglar. Recall that Pistorius, now 37, was sentenced by a South African court in 2016 to serve 13 years in prison. The parole board has set his release for January 5, 2024.
The parole placement for Mr. Oscar Pistorius has been confirmed effectively from the 5th of January 2024. And I think that's what the victims have also affirmed with you. What will happen from now until the month of January 2024 will be what we call a pre-release program. That's where an inmate is prepared for life outside of a correctional facility. As some of you may expect that a person, not everyone will find it easy to adjust. So psychologically, you ought to prepare that inmate that not everyone will welcome you. Yes, others will open their arms to you, how to react when.
Still in Africa, Niger's military ruler General Abdoulaye Tijani has met with his counterparts in Mali and Burkina Faso in his first international visit since seizing power in July. According to a statement from Burkina's presidency, Tijani arrived in Burkina Faso for a friendship and working visit with Captain Ibrahim Traoré. The statement added that the pair discussed issues common to both countries, in particular the fight against terrorism and socio-economic development. On the foreign scene, the head of the Palestinian Commission for Detainees and Former Prisoners Affairs, Qatar Affairs, has said that 24 women and 15 children are expected to be released later today as part of the deal between Israel and Hamas. Affairs said the identities of those who will be among the released is yet to be known. Still on the foreign scene, China's foreign ministry has said that China is trialing visa-free travel for citizens from France, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, Spain and Malaysia for a year. It said from December 2023 to November 30, 2024, ordinary passport holders from the countries can do business or travel to China without a visa for up to 15 days. The ministry spokeswoman Mao Ying said the decision is to help promote China's high-quality development and opening up the country's economy. Still to come in the news. Super Eagles head coach Pesero to submit 2023 AFCON provisional list December 14. Stay with us for details after this timeout. Thanks for staying tuned in. Now to the rest of the news stories. On our business news, Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL) has said it would end the importation of refined petroleum products by December 2024, as all the country's refinery would be operational by then. It also projected that the national oil firm would grow its revenue to 4.5 trillion naira at the end of 2023, adding that the rehabilitation of the Port Harcourt Refining Company under NNPCL's management would be completed by December this year. The Group Chief Officer of the NNPCL, Melik Kyari, disclosed this when he led officials of the company to a meeting with the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, where the lawmaker called for the privatization of Nigeria's refineries.
Is to start both the Port Harcourt and Warri refinery. First starting with the Port Harcourt refinery, we are very, very sure, and of course, force majeure bearing, and I do not anticipate this, our planning is excellent. We will start the Port Harcourt refinery in December. And definitely the Warri refinery in the first quarter, but we cannot say the same thing about Kaduna. Our plan is to start it by the end of 2024. And this perhaps will be complemented, or we will complement the expected startup of a number of small-scale refineries. Yes, will add value, but clearly perhaps not cover the gap that we are seeing in supply. And with the startup of the Dangote refinery, we know that in 2024, and we are very convinced with all the planning that is on ground, that this country will definitely.
Still in business, the International Air Transport Association (IATA) has disclosed that as of September, $1.68 billion of airlines funds are locked across Africa out of a global total of $2.36 billion. The regional vice president for Africa and the Middle East, Camille Alaudi, disclosed this during the African Airlines Association 55th Annual General Assembly in Uganda. He said that the impact of this financial entanglement is deemed devastating for connectivity and raises concerns about the sustainability of the aviation sector. Alawadi emphasized the association's efforts to deliver value to its members in navigating the challenging landscape. Reports say that Nigeria accounts for $783 million of airlines blocked funds, with only about 10% cleared. Despite recent efforts, the airline said a significant portion of those funds remained inaccessible to them. On our health news, World Health Organization (WHO) and all 36 state governors will sign a compact agreement to improve healthcare service delivery in the country. The Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed stated this while briefing newsmen at the end of the National Economic Council meeting in Abuja. Mohammed explained that the decision to sign an agreement with WHO was reached at the council after a presentation on Nigeria's health sector renewal program by the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate. According to him, the presentation looks at all the challenges in the health sector, from financing, human capital, and a supervisory point of view.
So there was even a resolution of council that the WHO is coming in December 15th. All the governors will come and sign a compact agreement in terms of service compact, where we'll be able to reiterate our determination to approach the health sector in terms of budgeting, giving it the required impetus, the required attention that it deserves. Today, NEC, ably led by the Vice President, our chairman, received a presentation from the Coordinating Minister on Health and Social Welfare on Nigeria's health sector renewal program, which looked and dissected in terms of very robust sector scan on health, from the tertiary to the primary level, looking at all the gaps, the problems and challenges of funding, and even of the need for renewed interest by stakeholders, mostly governors at the subnational level, experts, doctors, and everybody.
Still in health, the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control (NAFDAC) has seized expired pharmaceutical products worth 15 million naira from a pharmacy in Jos Plateau State. This is as the agency also confiscated unregistered alcoholic beverages worth more than 30 million naira from shops in Jos and in the nearby Bukuru metropolis of the state. The director of the North Central Zone NAFDAC, Shaba Mohammed, who disclosed this, said the agency had earlier received reports that the pharmacy sold expired drugs. According to him, the pharmacy tampers with expiry date markings on pharmaceuticals to revalidate their shelf lives. Mohammed explained that during NAFDAC's raid, it found a room in the pharmacy packed full of drugs with their expiry dates cleaned off, awaiting the imprint of new dates. Speaking further, Mohammed warned the general public against buying pharmaceuticals from unregistered pharmacies. Now to sports, where Super Eagles head coach Josie Pesero is expected to submit a 55-man provisional list for the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations latest December 14. According to the Confederation of African Football, CAF, Nigeria and the 23 other participating countries must submit the